Hello there. I'm so grateful you're here. My name is Troy and I'm an alcoholic and I am in recovery and I am trying to practice recovery on a daily basis. What does that mean? Well, it means a couple different things, but the purpose of this video is to hold myself accountable. I sometimes get off the path of recovery, get lost, end up down a dark and dirty street. Um, and the gist of that is what happens after that is for a meeting. But for the sake of today, I would love to share today's AA Daily Reflections reading and talk a little bit about it through my experience, strength, and hope. The reading's title is Our Survival. Since recovery from alcoholism is life itself to us, it is imperative that we preserve in full strength our means of survival. 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 177. The honesty expressed by the members of AA in meetings has the power to open my mind. Nothing can block the flow of energy that honesty carries with it. The only obstacle to this flow of energy is inebriation, but even then, no one will find a closed door if he or she has left and chooses to return. Once he or she has received the gift of sobriety, each AA member is challenged on a daily basis to accept a program of honesty. My higher power created me for a purpose in life. I ask him to accept my honest efforts to continue on my journey in the spiritual way of life. I call on him for strength to know and seek his will. Oh, that's so nice to hear. So, before I started to practice recovery on a daily basis, um, there was a time where I didn't go to meetings, wasn't really engaging with other alcoholics, and I had taken a different path. I sought out professional therapy, which I will be honest, I am still doing today. That was um, almost a year ago now that I started doing that. And one of the things that I talked about early on in professional therapy was I wanted to go back to meetings, but I really didn't know how. I had sort of fallen off the map, and my fears of just showing back up and having to explain what happened. I had never really done that before, so I didn't know how to do that. Um, and it took several months for me to shift my perspective on that fear in itself. The fear was the shackles that was keeping me from going back to meetings, and you know um, rigorous therapy, weekly therapy, definitely helped shift that perspective. I think what happened was is I just got I felt sick, spiritually sick. I'm sure you might understand it, but I had gone down this road of professional therapy and thought I was making progress, but I still felt like I was alone and didn't belong. And, not like the feeling in the rooms of AA where I feel at home and, I have a sense of purpose and feel one amongst people. And it's just, I've never been able to find anything that replaces it. So, you know, I think what this reading really touches on is, going to meetings, I hear things that I need to hear, um, people from all lengths of sobriety, even the new member or the returning member, they tell me what I need to hear. And, the honesty ranges, um, of all severity levels, but um, I need to hear it all. I need to hear that there's a new member in the group and they just had this terrible thing happen in their life and they're they're here because maybe someone had suggested to them or it was court ordered or whatever it might be. And getting a chance to hear a little bit about their story, right sizes me. And hearing, from the guy who had 10 years sobriety and went back out, 20 years sobriety, 30 years sobriety, whatever it might be, but they came back. And I love that hope. And I love to hear the old timers talk about, their struggles with step 2 and step 3, early on in sobriety. And that right sizes me because I had those exact same issues. And so, and to kind of top that off is another reminder that if I don't go to meetings, I don't hear those things. And, every time I've gone back out, the common denominator is I stopped going to meetings. And that is my honesty. And it, it sucked because at some point, before those couple times that I went back out, I felt like I was spiritually slipping and I didn't tell anyone, you know, I would describe it as taking my will back. And I never asked anyone to help me with that. And of course, because of course I think I can do it on my own. Um, but, you know, this time, I mean, I'm in professional therapy, so I have started the process of trying to ask for help more, and it's becoming easier and easier as time takes time. So uh, I'm so glad you stopped here today. I appreciate you being here. I'd love to hear from you in regards to the reading or perhaps your recovery or anything in between. Life on life's terms, right? So go ahead and leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.